Welcome back to the Spitball Sports Show. I'm Jacob, and joining me as always is Brian. Today, we'll give our thoughts on the Week 6 Thursday Night Football game and give our predictions for the rest of Week 6 of the NFL. With that said, Brian, how are you doing, and what do you think about Thursday Night Football?
Thank you for introducing me, Jacob. I'm doing really great. I want to start off by saying for our past viewers and mostly listeners, I was mistakenly in the wrong setting for my audio. Many you can probably tell, I say many, but the few that are watching us, you can tell my mic sounds so much better. So I originally had the setting set for webcam. So the audio was originally with my webcam. I'm over here talking to this beautiful mic that my wife bought me, and it wasn't even plugged in. So now that we have that taken care of, we have our audio a little bit better. We're rocking and rolling. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thursday Night Football. So we had the Chiefs and the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That game was kind of boring. I didn't expect much watching and going into the game. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of watching the Phillies and Braves mostly. Go Phillies. But yeah, dude, fuck, the Broncos suck. Right?
They do suck, and they suck worse than I thought they would,
Yeah.
really. The offense could not get anything rolling. I'm surprised that they ended up with a touchdown. Surprisingly, one of the spots that we thought was going to falter here, the Broncos defense, they actually stepped up here and did a decent job of holding back the Chiefs. They held them to 19 points, which is great, especially for such a powerhouse of an offense that the Chiefs have.
Right.
Broncos, now they struggled offensively. I'll give you a couple of numbers here. 95 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. If I told you that was a Super Bowl winning quarterback, would you believe me?
Definitely not.
It's wild, man. Russell Wilson performed terribly. While I was watching the game, I noticed their run game looked decent. Javonte Williams, 10 carries, 52 yards. Run game wasn't doing too bad. Russell Wilson had a couple carries for yards.
Yeah, he did.
Jaleel McLaughlin, 7 carries, 30 yards. They totaled more yards rushing than they did passing. 115 yards rushing total. I mean, if they kept on that, they might have ended up with a couple of more points on the board. But they couldn't get anything rolling in the air.
No, as you said, Russell Wilson held to 95 yards. He definitely was not cooking. I mean, the weather kind of didn't help for him at least, though, because I mean, Patrick Mahomes ended up with over 300 yards. Now, we had our predictions for the Thursday Night Football game. I just want to start off with saying I did not know Travis Kelce was going to play. I thought he was going to be resting. I thought he was going to be sitting on the sideline. He did have an ankle injury. I mean, for my thoughts were that he has an ankle injury. He missed a couple of games from his knee. So I was like, okay, well, he's probably going to sit it out. He's a little bit older now. He's on 32, 33, I think, right? So he's probably going to sit out. But I mean, we knew apparently Taylor Swift was there. So love is powerful. And he ended up balling out, dude. He got over 100 yards receiving and no touchdown. But I mean, still, I think he ended up with 124 yards. So my prediction for Patrick Mahomes under 270 definitely did not hit. But I thought Kelce was not going to be in the game.
Well, love conquers all, as you said. Now, I also did not think Travis Kelce would be in the game, or he'd be at least very limited. And even playing, like he obviously was having ankle issues, but he stayed in the game, had a lot of receptions. I figured other receivers would step up to fill the void. I had Patrick Mahomes going over 250 yards. Obviously, he ended up getting that. I felt that he was still going to ball out against the Broncos defense, which in the air has been not good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're on point there. I was hoping after both of us gave our predictions, I'm like, maybe we can get over 250 and under 272. We can both be happy.
Right. Just kind of like sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly. But that didn't happen for us, unfortunately. But I mean, both of us ended up missing. I had Jared Jeudy as getting 40 plus receiving yards. He ended up with 14. One of them was
he
a
had
loss.
A horrible game.
Yeah, one of them was negative for negative yards. So it was his first catch of the day, and then he had a reception for like 1 or 2 yards. His only reception aside from that was one for 13 yards. It was not good in the air. I
No.
think Cortland Sutton was the top performer, 4 receptions, 46 yards. He was the one that ended up getting the touchdown.
Yeah.
That was about it for the Broncos.
They just couldn't get anything rolling in the air. I mean, give credit to the Chiefs defense. They were definitely pressuring Russell Wilson.
Yep.
There was a couple times, I mean, he had an interception thrown. He had an interception. There's a couple times where they just straight up batted the ball away from him. Like he would just
Yep.
throw it and just slap it away. Chris Jones was having a killer game, just
Yep.
attacking that offensive line that is just not holding up well. And Russ couldn't get anything going.
No, he couldn't. And I mean, like we talked about the Broncos defense last week, not good, really terrible. We figured the Chiefs would be putting up plenty of points. If the Broncos were able to get away with, if the Broncos were able to get away with an average offense, they may have won the game or at least kept it a little bit closer. But the offense, I mean, they weren't able to put up hardly any numbers. So the game was done in really the first half.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because we talk about the numbers with Mahomes throwing for over 300 yards, Travis Kelce getting over 124 yards, and even Pacheco. I think he had him rushing over 70. I think he would hit around 50 or 60. But this game 8-19, it was not. I expected more of a blowout, to be honest. I mean, with the Chiefs were still able to cover -10.5, and they were able to get that at the last minute. But this was not a great offensive showing for them. I mean, there's been other teams that have been blowing out the Broncos out of the water and scoring much higher points. And I don't know, maybe because Kelce was hurt, but even then he only got 120. He got over 120 yards. So this is not a great offensive showing for what we expect for the Chiefs.
It wasn't. Isaiah Pacheco, I had him pegged for 60 rushing yards. He got 62.
Okay.
So barely got that one for me. No touchdown. I know both of us had him picked to get an anytime touchdown score. Didn't happen. They only had one touchdown for the night.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. Hey,
which is pretty wild. That was their only touchdown. Other than that, the kicker went off. So props to whoever had the Chiefs kicker on their fantasy team. I had Isaiah Pacheco on my fantasy team, and he underperformed a little bit. Didn't get exactly what he was supposed to. But I mean, as far as our predictions went, obviously my Jerry Jeudy was a huge miss, as well as the Pacheco anytime touchdown score. That was a miss for me as well. So 3 out of 6 for myself.
Yeah, I think I got 2 out of 5. So I got the Chiefs money line, or sorry, Chiefs spread -10.5, and then I had Patrick Mahomes. It was 2 out of. You meant 3 out of 5.
I said 3 out of 6. Yeah, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, and I got 2 out of 5. Yeah, I had Mahomes rushing over 19.5, and he easily got that.
Yep.
And then I had the Chiefs -10.5. I think it would have been a different game if Kelce wasn't there. They probably would have gone with the run game a little bit more just to do that. But I mean, Kelce was wide open the entire time. He was just slicing down the middle, dude. He was just
for such a big guy, and that with an injured ankle, he moves so fast.
Yeah, and he was doing the same thing. He wasn't doing anything special. He would just go straight out of the middle, quick cut, and catch, and then turn around and get an extra 5-10 yards. He did the same thing over and over again, and the Broncos defense could not adjust to it.
Nope, they certainly couldn't. Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes threw for 306 yards. The rushing obviously was a fraction of that, 96 rushing yards. Oh yeah, man. I think things definitely went a little bit differently than we had thought.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, it's not too bad. I mean, obviously 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5 but I mean, we were pretty close. I mean, that's the thing. We're not professionals. We're not experts by any means. We're not professional sports gamblers or cappers. But I mean, we were pretty close. 60 yards, and I think I mean, for me, I feel like if I had known he was coming in, and again, maybe that's just something I need to look into as well. Just say, okay, just make sure that Kelce isn't playing, or at least play the odds a little bit differently. But yeah, I think we would have definitely done a little different.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you would have thought they would have limited him more than they did. I mean, hopefully he's good for next week. I know he was limping definitely towards the end of that game. So we'll see. We'll see if he's prepared. They have a long week to rest and recover.
Yeah.
And then,
Did you happen to catch? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Broncos receiving core grossly underperformed as well. So that was something that we didn't expect. What were you gonna
No.
say?
So actually, just to bounce off of that with the Broncos receiving core, I don't know if you saw Steve Smith Jr. He was Jr. Steve Smith. He was talking about Jerry Jeudy, and he kind of went on a rant. Did you happen to catch that at all?
No, but I was seeing some posts about Jerry Jeudy potentially getting traded to another team.
Oh, really? Okay, I could see that.
Yes.
So he was actually on the sideline. He was talking about how much, and this was before the game. He was talking about how much Jerry Judy's been underperforming. They used a first round pick on him, and he just has not been living up to the expectations. He called him a tier 3 receiver, and just kind of just went straight at him. And Steve Smith, man, he does not hold back punches, and for the most part, he's been pretty great. I know he talked about for Cooper Kupp for that draft class that was with Juju Smith-Schuster. He said that Cooper Kupp was the best receiver out of that draft class, and everyone kind of shit on him. They told him, "Oh, you're an idiot. You know what you're talking about." And then very clearly, he's Cooper Kupp. He's a top when he's healthy, man. He's a top 3, top 5 receiver, top 5, top 3 receiver. He's definitely up there. So he's talking about Jerry Jeudy. They had a little back and forth, just smack talking, and he straight up just called him a tier 3 receiver on live TV. And
no kidding.
It's pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, just not living up to expectations whatsoever.
Yeah, I think I saw he has maybe 200 something yards right now of the season, which is pretty terrible. Let me check that right now. Yeah, this season he has 222 receiving yards.
Yeah,
which is very bad.
It's kind of hard to get yards when your quarterback isn't really playing as well either. And the whole team's in shambles. They definitely need to just do something completely different. They need maybe just honestly blow up the organization. Just try to. I mean, if they trade him, try to get some draft picks back because they've given up a lot to get Russell Wilson. They've given up a lot to get Peyton. So it's they need to do something, man. It's a great organization. They have the richest owner in the NFL. He's definitely spending a lot of money. He wants these Denver Broncos fans. I mean, even as bad as they're doing, they were sold out, man. That was what I was looking at. Like, I mean, obviously they were playing. They were playing in Kansas, but even in the previous games, like they've been showing up. Denver fans have been showing up. So,
yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, but they're 1-4 right now, and I don't know if they can turn this season around. It seeming like it. Oh, they're 1-5 with the loss, of course.
Yeah,
I don't see the Broncos turning this season around. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's not a terrible QB, but he's been hot and cold this season. He's had a couple of really good games where he looks like the Russell Wilson of old. And then games were just like on Thursday. It's like, oh my goodness, man, 95 yards, 2 interceptions with only 1 touchdown is embarrassing for a quarterback of his caliber.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's the only issue on that team.
No. He's definitely the scapegoat. It's easy to, I mean, when you're the quarterback, you're the leader.
Exactly. The quarterback is always going to take the most amount of flack. Like I can speak as a Giants fan. Daniel Jones takes the brunt of everything going wrong with that team, where he is just a very small fraction of all the issues we have.
Right. I mean, when you're the quarterback, you're essentially the face of the organization. So
absolutely,
you're the one that has the ball most of the possession. I mean, the entire possession. It's all up to you whether you win or lose. Pretty much. I mean, you can have a great defense, you can have a great run game, but at the end of the day, you need a quarterback that can sling in, that can get the job done, and that's why a lot of the fault goes up on the quarterback,
and that can just lead the team in general. I mean, even with not a great receiving core, rushing team, if they have a quarterback that can lead and motivate the guys, you can have success. I don't know if the Denver Bronco locker room is like that right now with Russell Wilson. Hearing all the issues that people have with him, previous teammates of his coming out saying he's not a great teammate. Marshawn Lynch had mentioned issues in the past. So, it definitely starts in the locker room with a leader. Russell Wilson, if he's not that, I mean, they're not going to win coming out of the locker room before the clock even starts for the game.
Right. Right. And I think there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of stories that have come out with him. He's from looking from the outside in, like he seems like he's cringy, like Mr. Unlimited and all his
Sure.
commercials. Broncos
Push-ups on
country,
the
let's ride.
plane.
Yeah, push-ups on the plane, high knees and all that stuff. He's got Tiger's blood, he's Wolverine's blood or something like that.
It's like he's a politician or something, just trying
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
everybody's good graces.
Well, that's what Coach Payton said. I think he told him, "Hey, man, stop kissing babies. You're not a politician. You're a quarterback.
There you go.
You're a football
Yep.
player."
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
So, I mean, definitely a disappointing game. Chiefs got the win at the end. They covered the spread. Good teams win, great teams cover.
There
But
you go.
definitely expect a little bit more from this game. I mean, it would have been great to see a Chiefs blowout as well, for them to blow out Broncos, a little bit more excitement. But at the end of the day, it was an okay game. Definitely not the worst Thursday game we've seen.
It was not the worst. And I mean, I don't know why they still do Thursday night football games in the first place. Teams are tired. It's a short week.
Yeah.
A couple of days rest, and then I mean, you're practicing and prepping, traveling. Like there's not a lot of time for recovery. So obviously we're not going to see the teams at their best.
Right.
I like having NFL during the weekday to be able to, or during the work week to be able to watch football. But I mean, we're going to see better play if you let them rest for a full week. I'm totally fine with them getting rid of Thursday night football games.
Yeah, it's never going to happen because it makes so much goddamn money, especially now with the Amazon contract. I mean, that was a huge lucrative deal. So that's definitely not going to go anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they had a freaking Wednesday night game at this point. So whatever they can to make that bread.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I mean, like we talked about last week, if they do end up, or not last week, on Wednesday, if they do end up adding European teams, maybe they'd be able to work out something in the schedule where they have a full week of rest and we're able to get some weekday games.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's hard to think about like how they're going to do that. Obviously, there's professionals that is their main job to do that, to think about it and figure it all out. I'm sure at the end of the day, it's going to work out at least for the fans. It's going to be a great experience, but that's going to be a great ask for them.
Definitely. Well, I think that's about wraps it up for our Thursday night football thoughts. If you don't have anything else there, we can move into our predictions for week 6 and touch on any of the games that we're really interested in watching.
Let's get that going. Let me get that pulled up.
For sure. So first game that we have here is Ravens versus Titans. Excuse me, Ravens versus Titans. Now, this one, I mean, just looking at it, without looking into too much of injuries and things like that, I have the Ravens picked as winning this game. I think they're a better team. They have their issues with the run game and other things, but I definitely have the Ravens as my favorites here. What are you thinking?
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be another one of the London games. I think this is going to be the last one for the London games. I think in 2 weeks they're going to go to Germany.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks they're going to go to Germany. Yeah, Ravens. So they're -4 favorites on the spread. I don't know, man. Like you said, a lot of injuries. It could come down to the quarterback where, as long as they're able to get it going. I think I'm taking the Ravens money line on this one as well.
Yep. Why not? I mean, I don't follow either of these teams very closely.
Right.
So I haven't really been watching their games. I don't have too much else to say about them other than kind of looking at the records and what little I have seen, what my favorites are. What's the next game that we got here?
So next one we have San Francisco. Looks like they're playing Cleveland, right? Yep, Cleveland. So okay. That's gonna be an interesting one.
Yes, it may be. It may be a blowout, especially with the Browns not having America's finest starting as their quarterback.
I know.
Um, I do have my boy PJ Walker, XFL unofficial MVP of the 2020 season. I always like seeing these XFL and USFL
I know
guys get a
you
shot.
love them, man. You love
I
them.
absolutely love it. It's great stories, man. Guys that aren't able to make the final roster in the NFL going and getting a shot to show how they can
Yeah,
play, and then making an official 53-man roster. It's just awesome.
it's
So
pretty cool.
PJ Walker, he started last year with the
Mhm.
Panthers. He had some starts, and he played while they dealt with injuries. He had a couple of good games, notably one against the Falcons. He threw that ball down the field into the end zone as the clock was expiring. Crazy throw, crazy catch. And then to win the game, the extra point, no good. Goes to overtime. Falcons win it.
Oh man,
Could have been a really cool story for PJ Walker if they
yeah.
ended up winning that game. Unfortunately, not the case. So anyway, he's on the Browns now. He'll be starting for this game. Um, he has bright spots for sure.
Yeah.
But with that said, Browns defense is good. They definitely
Oh, dude.
limit the amount of points that they allow. The Niners is too much of a powerhouse, man. You can't bet against them going into this game. There's no way that the
Right.
Niners are gonna let this one slip. Um, Offensive powerhouse. They've been pretty solid as far as injuries go.
Hmm.
Offensively, all their starters are still there. Everybody's rocking and rolling, and
Yeah.
the defense is just an immovable force.
Right. I agree. Like you said, Deshaun Watson, he's out. It's been another kind of like a Russell Wilson season as well. He's been not great.
Right.
Unfortunately, I have Amari Cooper on my fantasy, and he hasn't performed. I think he had kind of like one good game. This is going to be a tough, not a tough one. Obviously, the 49ers are going to win, but I don't know at that spread -9.5. That's kind of a big spread. Obviously, the 49ers are, like you said, an offensive powerhouse and defensive powerhouse, so
Mm-hmm.
they can definitely get it going. But I mean, like Browns defense ain't no joke.
No, it's
Uh,
it's not. I see the Browns defense kind of keeping them in the game.
yeah,
I don't know if the Browns defense is going to allow that large of a gap.
right.
We're talking about a touchdown and a field goal. I don't know if it's going to get to that point. So to be safe, I would go with the 49ers money line.
I'm gonna do. I'll do an alternate spread. I'll say minus 49ers -5.5, or sorry, 5.5, 5.5. Just because like you said, I think the Browns defense is definitely going to keep them within the game. Is to kind of come up to their offense and see if they're able to score some touchdowns and just try to keep that score pretty close. But I'll go -5.5
There you
Niners.
go.
All right, next one looks
Excellent.
like we have the Washington Commanders playing at the Falcons. With the Commanders are they're the underdogs. Yeah, Falcons are the favorites coming into this one.
And I would have to agree with that. I'm kind of liking the Falcons. What Desmond Ritter had a good game last week.
Mhm.
Bijan Robinson looking fantastic as expected. So I'm picking the Falcons here over the Commanders. How are you going to pick the Commanders, especially as an Eagles fan?
No, no,
Come on.
definitely not. I'm not going to go with the Commanders. Definitely, they look great against the Eagles, but I mean, the last game, the last week they showed that they were who they are, the Commanders, and they're just not a great team.
Nope.
Magic Johnson came out, said that they are not playing with any heart, any passion. I'm gonna take the Falcons as well, -2.5, especially at home.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just taking Falcons. I'm just going straight money
Sure,
line.
money
So
line.
not messing with any sort of spreads this week.
Okay,
Just Falcons straight up. And maybe if the Commanders end up changing their name back to what it should be, maybe they'll start winning some games.
go back to their roots.
Go back to the roots, man. They had some success in
They
the
did.
the 90s, right?
Yeah, and
Why
then I
not?
mean, Kirk Cousins when he was there, he was slinging the ball as well. So they've had some great quarterbacks there, man. Him, RG3, at least for the past 15, 20 years. So
The whole
who knows?
NFC
Maybe that's what they
East
need.
has like a lot of good pedigree in its
Yeah.
past. Part of the reason it's awesome to be part of this division, but Commanders kind of been the odd one out. It feels like the last few years. Yeah, Cowboys, Super Bowl drought, sure, but I mean, it's a fantastic team. They've always had a decent team. It feels like.
Yeah.
Commanders, they've had a rough patch here. It'd
Yep.
be nice to see them come back.
Well,
Not
hopefully with the
nice
new
as a Giants fan, it wouldn't be nice, but
hopefully with the new ownership, get a new building, get that ball rolling. They'll get some different change of pace. I feel like they might need a new head coach. Ron Rivera's can only take him so far. So
yeah,
maybe after this season.
I heard some murmurings that he doesn't look like he wants to be there anymore.
Yeah,
he kind of looks indifferent to the game.
Yeah, he's gone through a lot. Obviously, he had some success with the Panthers and back when Cam Newton was playing with there, and he's kind of just trickled away from there, and it just seems to get worse and worse every year. So who knows? This might be his last year there, and then the Commanders might get something else going on. They're too good of an organization.
Yes, if they finish with another losing season, I can see that happening. It's being his last year.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Next game that we have, you know who it is, and this may be the blowout of the week. Panthers and Dolphins. What are you thinking with this one?
So the spread on this one,
where I'm at.
I think we're pretty similar. The spread on this one's is 13.5. It's a huge spread, 2 touchdowns basically. But what other team can do this besides the Dolphins against a really terrible Panthers, especially with Bryce Young kind of just not playing great right now?
He's not. He out of the 3 new QBs that have started, he's looked the worst, I would say.
He definitely hasn't had a great showing. I mean, it's only been 4 or 5 games, but I mean 4 games, but yeah, he hasn't had a great showing.
Nope. I mean, it is an easy pick, probably the easiest pick of this whole week. I mean, definitely Dolphins to win this game. By how much is the question? Are they going to win by 2 touchdowns or not? I'm just sticking, like I said, man, I'm just taking money lines for this week with all these teams. Dolphins money line for me.
You guys spice it up a little bit. I'm gonna take Dolphins minus 13.5.
Go for it.
I think they can get it done. Tyreek Hill, I see him getting a touchdown. Mostert probably, especially with their other running back. Who's the running back? That's just HN. Especially with HN out, I expect Mostert to get 2 touchdowns. So I'm gonna go with minus 13.5. They're just gonna absolutely kill them. Dolphins defense has been pretty great as well. So I'm gonna take Dolphins minus 13.5. I mean, and they're playing at home. That's one of the biggest advantages for the Dolphins at home. I don't know if you know, with their stadium, one side is like basically in the shade. The other side, which is the away side, is completely sunny. I mean, it's like a 15-degree difference. So great home field advantage. I'm taking Dolphins minus 13.5.
Go for it, bud. All yours. Next game that we have, Vikings and Bears. And I think both of us are kind of on the same page with this one. So, going into it, yes, of course, Kirk Cousins, like I had mentioned, top 5 QB to me right now. He's missing his number 1 guy, though. Justin Jefferson's out for this game. I don't know if we know yet how long he's going to be out for, but definitely not starting. And the Vikings defense is bad. It's very bad. Coming up against the Bears, who, I mean, they're not looking great. What they're 1-4 right now, as is the Vikings. But the Bears, they're more of a solid team. The offense can move the ball. The defense can make stops and make critical stops to allow for comebacks to happen. I see the Bears as winning this game. I'm picking the Bears here, definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Bears might surprise us on this one. I mean, the spread's only 3 points, so they're expecting a pretty close game. Kirk Cousins missing Justin Jefferson. I think they said he might be out for 4 or 5 games with his injury.
Man,
yeah, it's definitely a huge loss. I mean,
it's a nail in the coffin for them, man. 1-4.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Kirk, I think he's going to be a free agent after this year, so hasn't been going great for them. It's definitely been a disappointing season after last year, how they were off to a great start. I'm going to take the Bears as well to upset. So, I mean, they're playing at home. Justin Fields coming coming back. Hopefully they get a win. DJ Moore, expect a big game from him as well. So I'm gonna take the Bears money line.
Yep, and I am leaving DJ Moore in to start on my fantasy team for sure.
Let it ride, man. Let it ride.
Absolutely, especially with that Vikings defense. Absolutely. What's the next game that you got here for us?
So next we have the Indianapolis Colts playing the Duval Jaguars.
Duval Jaguars. Okay. Well, what are your thoughts here before I tell you what I'm thinking?
So Indianapolis Colts, they have Anthony Richardson. He's unfortunately out due to a shoulder injury. I mean, he's been looking like Cam Newton, RG3, been rushing for touchdowns, kind of a little bit on the reckless point, just trying, almost seems like a running back or a halfback with how big he is, just going in. They've been winning games, man. They've been looking good. Now they got Jonathan Taylor back. They haven't been bad. So it's a 4-point difference. Obviously the Jaguars are coming off of a win, a surprising win against the Bills. They're coming back
Bills
from
in
London.
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like now with the Colts, the way they've been playing, they got Gardner Minshew in there, Minshew magic. He if he gets it rolling, man, he's a great quarterback. I'm gonna take the Colts +4 on this one.
Colts +4. Okay.
+4.
All right. You can keep it close. I'm picking the Jaguars. Similar reasons that you're talking about. Anthony Richardson out. If Anthony Richardson was starting in this game, might be a little bit different. But Jaguars all the way, man. Got to pick that boy T-Law. Got to pick him. Both teams are 3-2 right now. So they both do have playoff thoughts in mind. Still young in the season, but if they can hold on to this positive win-loss ratio, it would be excellent for them.
Jaguars.
Either team. Yes, yeah, either team. So Jaguars for me. I'm picking those guys. Pull it off. Get another win here.
All right. So next game we have the New Orleans Saints playing at home, or playing the Texans at home. Yep. Saints are favored on this one. So this one's going to be looks like another close game. 1.5 difference, 1.5 difference points. So what do you think?
This is a game I could go either way with. I don't like the Saints. I don't like watching them. I'm still angry about having to watch that Monday Night Football game a few weeks ago. For that reason alone, I'm picking the Texans to win this game. No, I like CJ Stroud. I'm liking a couple of things that the Texans are doing. Saints are a freaking boring team. And I don't know if Derek Carr, how is he health-wise right now? Is he going to be good to go for this?
I think he's starting. They think they have him good to go. I'm not 100% sure on this one. He is coming back off an injury. He might be out. Maybe that's why the spread is so close.
Maybe. Let's see.
Either way, yeah. I'm gonna go with the Texans as well. Texans to upset the Saints.
Let's do it.
Yeah, even if Derek Carr is in there, I like CJ Stroud. I like what the Texans are doing right now. They definitely out of the teams with the rookie quarterbacks, they're looking the best, man. They're looking the best. So they have something solid going on. They might be kind of like the Lions, how the Lions are right now. It's like, so first year, second year, not so great, but third year, they're building up on. They have something to build on. So I'm gonna take the Texans to upset the Saints.
Yep, I'm right there with you. And it's a cool story, coming off of a really, really bad season last year. Seen them, put up a fight so far. I mean, last year they kept a lot of games close. They made teams work for it. So it's cool seeing them come back. They're 2-3 right now. We'll see if they're able to get to a positive win-loss ratio here. Next game that we have here, Seahawks at Bengals. Seahawks 3-1, Bengals 2-3. I believe the Bengals are favorites going into this game.
Yeah.
What's that point favorite there?
So spread is 2.5. Another close game.
Okay. All right. What are your thoughts here?
So I don't know. I feel like the Bengals might be back. So they got the win against the Cardinals last week. Like we talked about in our previous episode, that was a must-win situation for them.
Yes.
this game is gonna basically decide if they're back or not. I feel like this is gonna be a make or break game. This is a game that they also need to win. If they win this one, then it shows that they are serious, that they're back, they're rolling, they have the potential to make it to the postseason. Seahawks, they've been a great organization as well. You know, Geno Smith and his story with being the comeback player and just taking the Seahawks a lot further than people thought. I still think Bengals might take this one just because I want to have faith in Daddy Burrow and Mr. 7-Eleven. So I'm gonna take I'll go with Bengals money line on this one.
I am too. I'm not sold on the Seahawks. People are putting them in the top of the list of teams, you know, as far as ranking this season. I'm not there. I mean, a couple of their wins, I'm not impressed with. I'm not impressed with the Giants. When the Giants is just, you know, they're losing against anybody right now. They should have lost against the Cardinals. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people are saying, look at this defense getting 11 sacks. Like, did you watch the game? Because that's all in the Giants, man. Like any team, put any college team in there and they'll be getting sacks against the Giants. So
yeah,
I'm not impressed with it. I think the Bengals had their return game, their revenge game against the Cardinals. They're looking better, they're looking informed. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, they're clicking now.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase, you know, you get open against the Seahawks, you know, they're going to be ripping it, man. So I'm definitely favoring the Bengals with this game.
Let's see. Next game. So next one we have the Patriots, the New England Patriots playing at home, playing the Raiders at home.
I'm not watching this one, dude.
This, I mean,
I'll be fine. I'll be finding a different game to tune into.
We are witnessing the downfall of the New England Patriots. They have not been off to a great start. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game just by the fact that Josh McDaniels is playing his daddy, you know. So
yeah,
we'll see. Another terrible game. Raiders have not been playing great. I mean, I feel like coming into this, they're the more talented team. They're definitely the better team of the two.
Right.
Mac Jones cannot get anything going. I'll take the Raiders -3.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders to win here as well. I think the Patriots are dealing with some injuries as well. I don't know how Mac Jones is doing. I think I heard that he was having some issues, but he should be starting unless you've heard anything different.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be playing.
Yeah, probably right. Let me pull up their injury report here, see if he's on there.
I mean, they're 1-4 at this point. They've lost a couple critical games. I think they lost to the Dolphins, the Jets, or no, they beat the Jets. They lost to the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Saints. Saints 34. No, they lost 34-0 to the Saints.
Bad, man. They're losing a lot of games bigly.
Yeah.
Mac Jones should be starting as if it would make a difference. They're not looking good. The Raiders, though, it looks like the injury report has Devontae Adams. He had light practice on Thursday, full practice on Friday. We'll see if he's good to start. Max Crosby, though, for their defense, he's been on light practice on Friday.
Okay.
If he's not able to start for them, that could be trouble for the Raiders defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still confident with both of our picks as far as the Raiders winning. The Patriots are just not looking good.
Yeah, hopefully Crosby can be in the game. That dude is a freaking game wrecker. He just knows how to get to the quarterback. If he's playing, Mac Jones is gonna have a bad day.
Oh yeah. Mac, he was one of the bright spots for that game for week 6, or for week 5. Man, we're on the same page for most of these, aren't we?
Yeah, I think for the most part, that's what I was looking at. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit on the riskier side and taking the spread.
A little bit. Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah, I think that's been our only difference, other than I like the Colts to win and the Jaguars. But yeah, no, we're pretty spot on so far.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see how the rest of these go. All right.
So far on. Yep. Jags. So next game, we had just mentioned them earlier. Lions versus Buccaneers. Lions 4-1. Buccaneers 3-1.
Brand new Lions. You got to say it. The brand
new Lions.
New Lions.
They are the dark horse for my Super Bowl picks for this season. My goodness, if they're able to make it the Super Bowl, like, come on, man, how can you root against them?
That'd be a great story.
They've never even been, and they're looking strong so far.
They are looking strong. So I think
Well,
coming into this, they are the favorites, correct?
with our unbiased opinion, they are the favorites, and they are my favorites.
In our hearts,
game. In my heart, I'm picking the Lions for sure. I mean, aside from that, they're a solid team. They're looking solid. I think their only loss was to the Seahawks so far this season, right?
Yeah. So,
and aside from that, down for it.
So the spread on this one is
3.
So the spread on this one's they're 3-point favorites. I think this is gonna be a challenge for them as well. Baker Mayfield, he's been showing up. He's been proving to be the quarterback that he was meant to be, that people expected him to be. This is definitely going to be a good challenge for the Detroit Lions, man. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna go probably over. So the over under on this is 42.5. I feel like this is going to be a high scoring game. I think the Dolphins defense might be the reason why, or sorry, the Lions defense might be the reason why they end up winning this one. I'm gonna go straight money line on this one minus. So I'll take Detroit Lions straight money line.
Yep, that's where I'm at as well. Straight money line. I'd like seeing Baker Mayfield play well for the Buccaneers. But you just look at the games that they've been playing, the games that they have won. Lions opening game, beating the Chiefs down. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm picking the Lions for sure. Next game that we have is Cardinals at Los Angeles Rams. Cardinals 1-4. Rams are 2-3. What are your thoughts with this one?
So Cooper Kupp is back. He had a great showing against the Eagles last week. He went over for 100 yards. He didn't get any touchdowns. I think the Rams are just going to blow the Cardinals out of the water. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, they had a great receiving core. Matt Stafford's he's playing pretty good, man. For coming off of an injury as well. I know people expected little from the Rams. Cardinals they've been impressive for what they were expected to be. Obviously, they're the underdogs into every game that they're going into this season.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Rams -7. That's an easy spread. I don't know if the Cardinals offense can keep it going. I'm not sure. I think James Conner's still out, right?
He is. Yeah, he's gonna be out for at least 4 weeks.
Oof.
Which sucks. He's a huge part of their offense. He's been going off this season. Yeah, he was in the top 5 for rushing yards for this season so far for the league. That's a huge blow for them. And with the Cardinals' struggles against the Bengals offensively, and then the defense just not being able to keep up with any speedy receivers, they're going to have a lot of issues here. Puka Nacua and the other Rams wide receivers. Yeah, Cooper Kupp returning. They're going to be lighting up the Cardinals. I'm as much as I want to see the Cardinals come back, I definitely have the Rams winning this game.
Straight money line?
Straight money line, of course. Rams. Not messing with any spreads today.
Not messing spreads. All right.
My soul is too hurt from last week.
I respect it, man. I respect it. It looks like the Green Bay Packers and the Patriots are on a bye week this week, so that's definitely going to be good for them. I know definitely both teams need some rest. Aaron Jones still, I think he didn't look too great on his last showing. If did he play last game? I think he did. No, he was out, right?
Yep, Jones.
Yeah, Jones was out. Yeah, so yeah, he definitely he needs his bye week to try to get back into form, because the Packers definitely need him. They need someone else besides Christian Watson, and they need to lay off some of the pressure from Jordan Love. He's definitely been getting hit a lot.
Yeah, he needs some assistance getting that ball rolling, man.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it on Wednesday. He had like really, really terrible passing yards and 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns.
Yeah,
terrible performance. So he needs some help with the run game. As far as the game's going on, got your boys, Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Jets. As if I
Yes.
have to ask, what's your pick here?
So can't go against my team. Definitely choosing the Eagles on this one. Now I'm a little worried about the spread. Uh, I'm a
What's the
realistic
spread?
Eagle. So it's only -7, so it's not a huge difference. I am more of on the realistic Eagles side of a fan base, and we are one of the best teams. I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but like I mentioned before in our last episode, we are dealing with some injuries in the secondary. Garrett Wilson, he's been popping off. He he can definitely have a great game and get some touchdowns and just get the ball rolling to keep that score kind of even. Cooper, like I said, Cooper Kupp was able to get over 100 yards on them. Even Puka Nacua was able to get 70 yards, and that was with their Darius Slay in there. It's gonna be a tough ask for
Right.
Blankenship and the rest of the cornerbacks to try to keep up with Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard in there.
Absolutely.
There's some veteran receivers on that team that know how to play well. Like it's just all depends on how the Jets quarterback is gonna do fare in this game. If he gets if that offensive line cannot detain the Eagles defense, then he's gonna have a bad day.
Yeah. And also, New York Jets defense, they have the ability to keep the game close.
Mm-hmm.
They played well last season. They've been playing decent this season. Um, Sauce Gardner hasn't been the best.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other rookie cornerbacks that are outperforming him, but I mean, I see the New York Jets, keeping it a little bit competitive here, like most of
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles games have been. They've all been pretty close. I think they've all been one-score games this season, right?
Yeah, they've all
Uh,
been really close.
yeah, they've all been close games. I am picking the Eagles here. As far as the NFC East teams, it hurts me the least to pick the Eagles to win. I hate them the least, I would say. Oh, yeah, man, I'm for sure picking the Eagles here. I don't know if they're gonna win it by 7. Like you had mentioned, it all comes down to how Wilson's performing, if he's able to
Mm-hmm.
ball out, or if he is just gonna suck, like we've been seeing with him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna screw it. I'm gonna take Eagles -7. I did mention about the Eagles defense that they're gonna have to step up if Wilson gets the ball rolling
Mm-hmm.
to Will to the end zone. It depends.
Yep,
I feel like this is gonna be a running game for the Eagles. I hope Swift pops off, especially if they're able to get within that 5 to 10 yards in the red zone. Expect the brotherly shove to show up a couple times.
of course.
I'm gonna take -7. Why not?
Why not? Shoot, you got to support your team, right?
Gotta support the team. And
So
then
speaking
speaking
about
of supporting
supporting
teams,
teams, we have the
yes,
Bills versus my New York Giants.
mm,
Um, I
biggest
mean,
spread of the week. Biggest spread of the week on this one.
what's the spread?
14.5.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that happening. I obviously I'm picking the Bills to win this game. New York Giants, you know, forget about how awful and terrible they've been playing and how the offense can't get any performance. They've only had 2 games where they've scored an offensive touchdown. Aside from all that, the amount of injuries they have is insane.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is out for this game. Tyrod Taylor will be the starting quarterback. Left tackle Andrew Thomas, one of their only good linemen, is out. Not sure when he's going to return. The center that they picked up during this draft, who's been the only other lineman, offensive lineman that's been performing well, John Michael Schmitz, he is out for this game. Saquon Barkley, I don't know if he's going to be starting yet. I think he's been practicing full pads, full practice, but I don't know if he's going to be in this game or not.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he is in this game, they're going to have some serious issues. Bills defense, they're not slackers, and the offense is one of the best in the league. They're going to destroy the Giants. Unfortunately, it is on primetime. Of course, they keep putting the Giants in
Another.
primetime games. Dude, five of the Giants' 6 games of the first 6 weeks of the season have been on primetime,
Oh man.
which just hurts my soul. It's going to be a little hard to avoid, and this may be the first time I ever do this in my life, but I will probably just watch a movie or a TV show or play video games
Oh
and
man.
avoid this Sunday game. this Sunday night game. I
Well,
can't bring myself
I'll
to
be
watch that.
texting you some updates. How about that? I'll be texting you some updates, letting you
Let
know
me know
what's
how the
going on.
beatdown's looking, man. Let me know how the beatdown's looking. I can't invest any more time or energy in watching this team get destroyed.
Dude,
Maybe
it's just
Tyrod
been
Taylor will have some nice highlights for us, but I can't watch it.
it's just been so bad for you guys. Like I don't know if I've seen a team where it's been like they had such a great last season. Like you said, they had the passion. They were rocking. They were rolling. Dayball
Yeah,
looked like he was gonna get coach of the year. I mean, this is Brent first year. He was smoking cigars out, looking like a boss, and
yeah,
they've just been so deflated this season. Daniel Jones
yeah,
has not been great. He's been overpaid. Saquon, like you said, he's been dealing with injuries, the offensive line, even the controversies like Evan Neal with what he
yep.
was talking about. Just a lot, man. It's just nothing can seem
It's
to be going right for the Giants right now.
yeah, a lot of frustration from the players and the fan base. Players are getting a little upset, especially the newer, younger guys. Our team is young. We've got rid of a lot of the veteran guys,
Mm-hmm.
which is a mistake. So a lot of these newer guys are dealing with this immense amount of pressure coming from a New York City fan base. Um, Rightfully so. They
Mm-hmm.
deserve the criticism. They're 1-4 and the worst looking 1-4 of the whole NFL. Last season, the schedule was a lot softer, sure. But I mean, they played the Cowboys, they played the Eagles, and they kept a lot of those games competitive. Really,
Yeah.
the only game that was a straight blowout, no chance, was that playoff game against the Eagles. They got
Mm-hmm.
dominated, 37-7,
Yeah.
uh, something like that. But they got destroyed. They were outmatched. Like it was a performance thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants were up against a better team. This season, they're playing against teams that they should be competitive with. They should be scoring against. They should be winning against. They, roster wise and the way that offseason was looking, they should have beat the Seahawks, in my opinion. They should have
Mm-hmm.
dominated the Cardinals as they did. For that home game against the Cowboys, in my opinion, they had a chance to win that home game against the Cowboys, and it wasn't even close. It was a shutout, 40-0. Um, like we've talked about, man, my hopes are completely gone for this season. I hope these guys can just get through it. The new guys can get some experience, while the new defensive guys and the offensive guys can just get experience playing the game, and we can get out of here without a lot more injuries. Daniel Jones, I really fear for his safety. He's on track to get over 100 sacks this
Yeesh.
season, which is insane.
Yeah.
Thankfully, since he's missing at least one game, we'll be able to drop that number down just a little bit. But that's a lot of sacks for a guy to take.
Against a
He's
good
going to
Bills
have
defense too, man. This would have
against it
been terrible for him if he was playing this game.
exactly, and I mean he still has the Eagles to go up against and the Cowboys again. The Giants have the hardest schedule remaining in the NFL.
Mm.
So I mean the 1-4, it's looking like it may end up being a 1-16 by the time that the season's done. Just being realistic, they can maybe win one or two games for the rest of the season. So, like I said, I just hope they can get through it without too many more injuries, and
Yeah.
especially for Daniel Jones.
I mean,
So
he's looking like the quarterback of your guys' future for at least a couple years with that big contract. So
has to be he
he's not
has to
going to go
be.
anywhere. Yeah, I don't think any team would take him.
No, I mean the teams that need a serviceable QB, you know, I don't know if there's one out there. Maybe the Patriots, but I mean, can Daniel Jones perform
Mm,
any better than Mac Jones?
no.
Probably not. Daniel Jones, he is talented. He just needs the right environment. He needs a good offensive line. He needs time to process. He's a slow processor. Um, when he's able to have time to process, he makes excellent throws. He can run. He has a strong arm when he has time. So he
Mhm.
doesn't have any of that right now. So he won't have success with this Giants team in its current form. I've heard some murmurings, like we talked about, of potentially drafting a quarterback
Mhm.
for the 2024 draft. That's a real possibility with the way the season's going. Whether it's going to be Caleb Williams, I don't know, man. A lot of other things would have to happen for that to happen. If they do end up with Caleb Williams or another top 5 quarterback for the draft, I can see that rookie sitting on the bench, while Daniel Jones gets that mileage out of him that the Giants have paid a lot of money for.
Kind of get like the Jordan Love treatment.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, why not? They spent so much money on Daniel Jones, put the mileage on him, let the other guy grow and learn from it, and then maybe start him in his second season.
Mm-hmm. Well, one more game. We have the Monday night football game, and this is going to be a good one, man. Chargers and Cowboys.
Will be. Yeah, it'll definitely, in my opinion, be the best Monday night game that we've had so far this season.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys 3-2, Chargers 2-2. Both are good teams. Chargers offense, in my opinion, looks better than the Cowboys offense. Chargers defense is where the issues lie. Yeah. Unfortunately, they allow way too many points to be scored. Chargers could be 4-0 if the defense was able to perform like they should. Cowboys, they've had weird games, weird losses, right?
Yeah, same. Kind of just that they're not rolling right now ever since Diggs' injury. It's just their defense is not. No, well, it's not been great. So who knows? I think the Cowboys are favorites coming into this one, but
it's a weird one. It's right. It's a weird one. What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking the Chargers on this one to upset the Cowboys. I'm not gonna root for the Cowboys. Austin Eckler's coming back off of an injury, so I'm hoping he has a breakout game again. He had a fantastic game one, and obviously he dealt with some injuries. He is coming back. Have him on my fantasy. A lot of people expect him to just outperform and just go out and get some touchdowns. I'm taking the Chargers on this one.
Okay, this will be our only difference of the week then. As painful as it is for me, I do have the Cowboys.
No, buddy.
This one in here. I know, and it hurts. It hurts me to do that, but I am picking the Cowboys here. It comes down to the Chargers defense for me. They allow too many points. I mean, you have Tony Pollard. You have, when he performs well, Dak Prescott, if he has, time to throw the ball, which he will have against the Chargers defense. And they got some speedsters, at wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb and my boy, Kevontae Turpin, if they start throwing him in. Oh, man, I definitely see the Cowboys with the dub here. This was one of the ones that was kind of close for me. This one and the which one we had talked about, the Patriots and Raiders, I think we're talking about. But no, man, Cowboys for me. I think that they're going to win this game.
That's
sadly
traitor.
It hurts. It's not. I don't get any pleasure from that. I'm just giving you the information that I have, and the Cowboys are going to win this game.
No, I feel like the Chargers offense is going to keep them competitive. Cowboys defense has not been great the last couple of showings. With Austin Eckler coming back, I feel like the Chargers are going to take it. But it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be an awesome game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thankfully.
In beautiful LA and their beautiful stadium in LA, man. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Cowboys fans there. A lot of Cowboys fans in LA, man. It's going to be really, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool game. I'm excited for it. It might be the best Monday night game that we have this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, it's all the games that we have, right?
Mm-hmm. That is it.
Awesome. Excellent. I guess that wraps it up for us, huh?
Yeah, I think so, man. It's going to be an interesting, fun Sunday. Hopefully we get these predictions correct, and definitely looking forward to the next show to talk about how it all turned out.
Yeah, let's see how our predictions went. All of our predictions were the same as far as the teams that were winning, by how much they win, or that one variable, Cowboys versus Chargers. Let's see how it pans out for us.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for us. So that's all we have. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, please leave a like and follow for more football content. Please tune in next time for the next Spitball Sports Show. Thanks again for watching.
Bye.